Bliss, everyone. I don't know what happened. I think we're back up. Let me know. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can see me. There is a solar flare going on right now, pretty big, happening since I think it was Friday night. Or maybe even Thursday. So we may be having some technical difficulties because of that solar flare. That's when a lot of energy and cosmic energy and solar energy really kind of just exudes and amplifies from the sun and starts to affect the frequencies in our technology and our atmosphere and so many things on our planet. So maybe we are experiencing some tech difficulties because of the solar flare. I'm not sure, but I'm glad y'all can see me and hear me. We'll start right back up. Good thing we were only a couple minutes into the reading. Hopefully we won't have any other tech difficulties, but if we do, you know I will always do my best to get right back up on here for you live and pick up where we left off. So let me go ahead and start again. Again, my name is Rissa Vibes, aka Readings by Rissa. I'm a professional intuitive and intuitive coach. If this is your first time joining these readings, welcome to this Web of Light community. We've been doing these readings every single Sunday at 1:11 p.m. Central Time for about 3.5 years, I think, since like 2017. Maybe it's been 4 years now. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. So shout out to everybody who's been joining regularly and consistently since then. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know if you're a new subscriber, if you're a vet, that you've been here forever. And also make sure to subscribe to this channel. Make sure to tap the bell for notifications, comment, and like as these messages resonate with you. Okay? All right, so sharing, we had the sharing card last week, sharing our gifts, sharing our talents, sharing our information. Middle of the week was the Lunar Queen, integrating that blood moon from last week and connecting us to our intuition and feminine energy. Then we had the Unexplained Wonder card, really tapping into our inner child and our excitement and adventurousness in our energy. And then we also had the Back on Track, reminding us to stay on track for the rest of this season to finish out what we said we would do and accomplish for the end of the year. All right, quick review of last week. I know we just did it, but I want to get it in there for all of you watching on the replay, to clear from that tech difficulty. All right, so where I left off was we were talking about moving into a brand new month, a brand new season. We've got the winter solstice coming up this month. We've got a brand new month stepping into December. We have a new moon at the end of this week, a new moon in Sagittarius. So this is a really transformative day and week. And I was talking about today how the energy felt really spacey and airy and kind of abstract and mystical and in between worlds and very parallel reality kind of energy. And then boom, the tech cleared out, the live stream stopped, and now we're back. So maybe we just entered a new parallel reality. Who knows? Maybe we just totally manifested that. But welcome. I'm glad we all made it to this reality. And I'm super excited to tap into the rest of this week's energy. I titled this week Mastering Love because last month, or this month still, because we have a few more days left of November. The month of November, the card was Wishful Expectations, really encouraging us to recognize what we are hoping for, what we are hopeful for, what we're expecting from our life, and then to check in with our reality and see if there's any illusions or delusions, anything that's really showing up that's saying actually what we've been expecting is not realistic or even not in our reality right now, and making sure we make the appropriate changes to align to what is realistic and what is actually expected for our most highest desires. Okay, so really beautiful card, a lot of shadow work in November with the Scorpio season, lots of looking at ourselves, lots of getting real with ourselves, lots of getting real with reality in general and our experience with it. And now we've made it through, right? We've made it through the deep depths of the Scorpio season. We've made it through the transformation and rebirth of that energy. How are we doing? How are we doing, guys? I just saw the video kind of cut out a little bit, so let me know if you can see me and hear me. Let me know if this stuff gets weird, and if it does, we'll do our best to get back. But it looks like it's still working, so we're good. But yeah, so just really getting through, through that transformation, through that rebirth, and allowing ourselves to really connect more to how we are resilient through that, right? And so as we continue to move through that transformation and finish it out, we're going to be stepping into another version of it in December. We're going to be stepping into a mastery of that new energy that we've developed from the shadow work, okay? And we're going to start to feel a new love stepping into our lives. And this is a love of ourself. This is a love of our connection to source. This is a love for one another. And this is a love possibly for some of you in a very deep romantic way that you've been calling in, okay? This is an energy of connection. And we've earned it through the shadow work we've done last month, or technically this month of November, okay, as we move into December. So I know I'm feeling that in between worlds, feeling the airiness, the spaciness, the loopiness of today. I think the solar flare is doing its work on us energetically and on the world, obviously with tech stuff as well. So feel free to research that and look into that, because there is a lot of that going on right now, the solar flares. But let's go ahead and tap in a little bit to the first message, which is really, I've been getting the message from my guides and from Source to do a lot less of my note-taking before the readings. So a lot of times I channel, I meditate before these readings, and then I write down what comes through, and then I bring that to you. And I always do it the same day. I do it maybe a couple hours before I get live with you all on here, just to preserve, the presence of the moment. And I feel like Spirit is now telling me to start preserving the presence of the moment even more by really channeling through messages without many notes. And so you're going to notice over the next couple of weeks that I'm probably going to be letting go of my notes that you see. I usually have them right here. Sometimes I have them down here. I'm going to be getting rid of them soon. I'll still keep them up for probably the astrology stuff, because there's so many different transits. I just cannot remember them all and read them off to you without reading them off to you. But I always channel through that part anyway. I just write the channel, the transits down, and then kind of go off of the cuff from there. But I'm being called to really just be in the moment and feel the energy right here on live and speak from that. So we're going to do a little bit of that right now, and it's a great prep for Friday, which I'll be doing another bone shaman reading live, where I channel through the bone shaman, and he's been coming up even more in just body language, and even some tones and sounds that he makes as I do those readings. And I feel like his voice is going to start maybe coming through soon too, which is always something that I feel a little bit nervous about, because I just don't know how it'll be received. It's something that I feel really comfortable doing in my Channel and Chill events that I'll be bringing back in person soon in Arizona, but something that is still a little nerve-wracking for me here live, and even auditorily when I was sharing those clips on my YouTube channel last year. And I think I'll be sharing them on YouTube again as well when I start doing them again. So I just want to tap in right now just to the messages that Spirit wants to share for our present moment experience for this week, just that comes up. So just take a couple deep breaths with me as I connect, and I'll share what comes through. Okay, so the biggest thing that I was just getting is that consciousness is rising this week in a lot of ways. And the way consciousness is rising is that it's expanding our crown chakra, and it's causing us to really challenge ourselves to look at things from a more loving view, from a more conscious view, from a more exalted, higher vibrational view. This is causing us to really face some of our inner wounds and some of our, if you want to call them, kind of inner demons, the parts of us that feel entitled or kind of above our ability to receive new information in a loving way, or to release an idea of comparison or competitiveness or a need to be right. There's this energy that we've all had that we've been attached to, and it's this attachment to wanting to know what's right, or to know the right way. And a lot of us think we know the right way, or we know what's right in our lives or in others' lives or for the world. And really, we are being faced with having to see that we may not actually know as much as we think we do. And so we're being called to raise our consciousness and to really release the ego parts of ourselves that is trying to hold on to this idea of knowing the right way. And instead of just honoring the fact that we may not know if there is a right way and what that right way is, because in stepping into that unknown and stepping into that acknowledgement of not knowing, we start to really align deeper to our ability to receive the collective consciousness, the higher consciousness, the divine consciousness that we are meant to rise into. So we do that with love. We do that with expanding our heart. We do that by shining the light of love onto new information when we receive it. Doesn't mean that we have to agree right away with that new information, but if we can look at it from a loving perspective, from an open heart, from an open mind, but an open heart is even more important because the open heart already will open your mind. And so if we step into a loving perspective, we're going to find that we'll have a lot more capacity to receive new information, and that we'll actually start to get a lot of the answers we've been asking that we actually have been blocking ourselves from because we've been assuming that we know it all. So we need to release that. It's time to do that in our personal lives, in our lives with relationships with others, thinking we know what's right or the right way. And also in the world, okay, as we all transform and transition through this massive awakening, this massive activation that we're all experiencing. So that was my channeled message of today for this weekly reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know how that resonates. I will pull a card on it as well. It feels like a shadow card, shadow work card, something that we need to face as a collective. Some shadows we need to face to be able to raise into a higher consciousness. This is the 22 card, Women Supporting Women. And this is really about our feminine energy supporting others people's feminine energy. And our feminine energy is the nurturer, the intuitive, the compassionate one, the creative energy, okay? And it's not to say that the masculine isn't intuitive or, isn't compassionate, but it's just not known for that energy, okay? The feminine is. The feminine brings that energy and amplifies it in the masculine. And so this is what we're wanting to bring forth for more of our expansion of new information and knowledge, and by letting ourselves kind of see that information through loving eyes. Women Supporting Women, and it says, together we can transcend our individual limitations. So this idea of, you think about community of women coming together and how they love each other and how they support each other, how they show up for each other, how they're just naturally that, connected. They go to the bathroom together. It's like guys don't usually do that, right? And so, just recognizing that energy, even just in, childbirth and the way they band together to support each other in that. And, that energy is really what we want to embody this week to help us expand in new knowledge, to help us look through loving eyes to receive a higher consciousness. And that will help us transcend any individual limitations we may be facing. So if there's anything you're feeling limited by or stuck in or confused by or just not able to expand in, look at it from a way of coming together. How can you lean on someone that can support you? How can you lean on the energy of your intuition to support you? How can you lean into nurturance that you need at this time? And how can you lean into the information that you're receiving? and look at it as nurturance that you may need, even if you didn't know you needed it, right? Until you received it, until you opened up to it. So let yourself explore that, especially with your feminine energy, especially with your intuition and your spiritual connections, okay? How's everybody doing? Hi, Jasmine. Hi, Marie. Hi, Standing Buffalo. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Danielle, PJ, Linda. Such a full house today. Good to see everybody. It looks like everybody's integrated from the, daylight savings transition. We usually don't have as many live viewers like the first couple of weeks of that transition because everybody's trying to figure out, okay, like what time is it? What time is it where? So good to see that you're all here. So nice. Awesome. Oh, that's so funny that the live cut out and went to my shadow work video. That's pretty funny, Danielle. But everybody can see and hear me well, right? Okay, cool. But glad you're all doing well. Love it. All right, so from there, let's go ahead and go into a couple of messages I did actually write down as to not forget, because they were messages I received earlier this week for today. The next message is the cosmic beings, okay? My cosmic star family, my galactic family are being so weird with me right now. Like, they really want me to do the Starseed Saturdays again, but I'm having a really hard time, y'all, because I don't know what platform they want me to present it on. I don't feel like OnlyFans is the right platform anymore, for that at least, but maybe it is. I'm like not feeling like YouTube Live is the best platform for it, because then I'm going live back to back 2 days in a row, and then I'm feeling like Instagram maybe, but it's like kind of Instagram's kind of weird. And then I used to do it on Facebook. I used to have a Facebook group where I did it live on Facebook, but sometimes that would cut out and be really weird as well, or take forever to upload because it was like 10-minute videos, you know. So I don't know, y'all. I'm doing my best to figure out where I'm going to be hosting the Starseed Saturday meditations regularly again. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. I've even thought about doing it maybe on a podcast app called Anchor, and just having it as a podcast, and maybe doing a little Starseed podcast, lecture on Wednesdays and a meditation on Saturdays. Let me know what you're feeling. Let me know what you think. My guides are not giving me the answer. They're just telling me, hey, you need to get back on these Starseed Saturday meditations. And I'm like, yeah, I feel you, but where? Zoom. I love Zoom. That's a really great idea, Danielle. Love that suggestion. So yeah, anybody else, feel free to chime in. Does Zoom sound good to y'all? Those of you watching on replays, what would you suggest? And, those of you that know for sure you want to join, because that's my biggest thing. I always love to offer these things, but I want to make sure I offer them in the right place and in the right form for people to receive in the best way. So let me know. I'm super excited. So another part of that is that the cosmic beings, our galactic families, are super ready to reach out and connect with us even deeper. There's a lot of stuff going on in the stars that we are meant to know about right now. And I'm super excited to be able to provide a space soon to have those conversations. So whatever platform we end up deciding on as a community, it will be a really great way for us all to start diving deeper into the cosmic consciousness, because it is waking up and people are starting to become more ready for it. And maybe some of you are going to be having some experiences this week in your dreams, in your meditations, in your just waking experience, that may also be signs from your galactic families that they're reaching out and they're wanting to connect, okay? So we welcome that in, and we only welcome in, of course, the galactic beings of the highest love and light. There's duality of everything, of course, so we always want to make sure we preface that. But they're here for us, and we can trust that. We can trust that our galactic guides of the highest love and light are here for us, and they are wanting us to lean into that connection, because they are really wanting us to hear them, to see them, to feel them. And I love that. I really love the idea of Zoom, y'all. That does sound fun. I think Zoom would be really cool. Just like a regular Zoom meeting every Saturday. I kind of dig that. So yes, if y'all are feeling that as well, keep the comments coming. For those of you watching on the replay as well, I'll be paying attention to the comments all week, and then I'll be announcing something probably Wednesday for our Saturday connection. So yeah, Zoom sounds really fun. Yuri, my OnlyFans is in my description of in the link of my description, or in the, the link in the description of these videos. That's where I talk about my BTS and my music. I share BTS of me writing music, making music, learning the guitar. I'm also sharing a little bit of my dating journey right now, which is pretty fun. Just lots of fun things on there, lots of virtual diary stuff. So you can definitely check that out. And the link is in the description of these readings. All right, y'all. So next message. Okay, we're going to keep it going because we got a lot to cover. The next message is that we are not the same as we were. Okay, we are not the same as we were last year, as we were last month, even for some of us, last week, even for some of us. We are having massive activations and transformations, so much so that we almost can't keep up with it. It's almost a little shocking, a little overwhelming to our bodies, to our hearts, to our minds, okay? Some of you know exactly what I'm talking about, and you're going to be experiencing it even more this week in hindsight and reflection. Some of you are about to experience more of your transformation. So this is really resonant for you this week because you're stepping into that epic transformation where you may not even recognize yourself for a second, emotionally or intellectually or spiritually or physically even. There's a lot of that transformation occurring. Our bodies are being more sensitive to energy right now. We are being activated physically in a lot of ways, whether it's through action, differences in the way we act, the way we behave, the way we, process things and move throughout our life, or maybe the way that we look physically, or even the way we feel physically, okay? So a lot of us are feeling physical activations in a big way, and some of that includes being really sensitive to physical energy, physical touch, even what we're eating, even physical environments or movements can be really sensitive to us right now. A lot of us are also experiencing massive transformation emotionally. So some of us might not be recognizing ourselves emotionally this week, or have been or maybe in hindsight this week, reflecting on how we've transformed so much that we barely recognize ourselves, okay? And spiritually is a big one too. We're seeing ourselves show up in the ways we've always meant to show up. A lot of us have done the work this year and last year, really since 2019, when we said we're letting go of that last 20 years and we're prepping for the next 20 years and that big change. And a lot of you did the work since 2019 and into 2020, and now you're seeing the traction of that, and you're recognizing you are nothing like the same person you were 2 years ago. And it's a beautiful thing because you're becoming more of what you've saw yourself to be, what you've asked yourself to shift into. And even though that might look even a little different than what you expected, right? We're letting go of those wishful expectations and we're stepping into the reality, right? We're falling in love with the new version of ourselves, okay? And that's what we're meant to master this week and over the next several weeks as we move into December, okay? So this transformation of our experience and of ourselves is happening on a cellular level, spiritual level, heart level, and mental level, okay? And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So honor the way that you don't recognize yourself and start to fall in love with this new version of you, because it is so aligned to what you've put the work in to manifest, okay? And if you're not loving all of it, do what you need to do to tap into those parts and see what you need to tweak within yourself or within your intentions or within your intuition and your focus in order to make the changes that you want to see happen, all right? I'm going to get the Healing with the Angels cards on this because they're so good with any additional messages on how we can continue to surrender to the necessary changes in our life. Love this. With music, we get to move into more graceful transformation by using music. And I love this. I've been falling asleep to a lot of crystal bowl tones and activations, a lot of binaural beats and solfeggio tones. Really enjoying that. I used to do it a lot, and I've started up again even more lately and continuously, and it's felt really good to receive in dream time. Also, you all know that I just released a new album this summer called Hippie Vixen, and it's a very spiritually activating and soul-fulfilling, soul-sparking album. Really good for healing and moving through the craziness of transformation we've all experienced as a mass collective, and some crazy transformations I experienced in my personal life that I know all of you can relate to as well. So use music, whatever music resonates with you at this time during your transformation. And my guides are saying to use music intentionally. Don't listen to music that represents transformation that you don't want to see in your life right now. Listen to the music that will help you and support you through the transformation you're experiencing and help bring you into or encourage you into the transformation that you want to see as a result, okay? Don't listen to the depressive or pessimistic or angry or volatile types of music right now. This week is pivotal for us to move through into a positive transformation. So we want to listen to music that represents that. Even if it's music that helps us purge so that we can get into a positive energy, that's okay, but just make sure you're using it with intention, and you're only, you're cutting it off at the right time as to not get consumed by anything heavy, okay? Spirit Science Radio, love that. I didn't even know that there was a Spirit Science Radio. Awesome. I love Spirit Science so much. I actually talked to them a few times. I almost got a job there. I really wanted to, but they were in Canada, and I was like, I don't want to move to Canada. But maybe we'll collab one day, Spirit Science and I feel like a collab will happen. All right, loves. So let's go ahead and go to the next message. The next message is our resilience, okay? Our resilience, our emotional and our social resilience. This is also tapping into the mastery of love energy, okay? And this mastery of love so that we can stay resilient, okay? We need to keep love in our vibration in order to be resilient, okay? If we do not have love in our heart or in our spirit or in our body, if we are lacking in love during very difficult or challenging times, we have a harder time bouncing back from that time. Think about it. Think about the times in your life where you've had really hard times, really difficult struggles. I guarantee you the times when you had a lot of love in your life, those struggles were easier, and you probably bounced back quicker. You were more resilient, right? Because you had a lot of loving support. You had a lot of love in your heart. You had a lot of love that you felt from things around you or even source, right? But in times where you felt like you didn't have love, maybe these were times of breakup where you broke up with somebody you were with, and so that can feel like an amplified feeling of no love in my life, right? Even though you do have love, but it can feel like, oh, all the love in my life is gone, because that representation of love in your life has left. It was probably harder to get through, right? It took longer. It felt more grueling because you felt more empty. You felt less connected to love, right? So we need the energy of love to stay resilient. And that really helps us with our emotional resilience, our ability to bounce back from negative emotion or heavy emotion, and also our social resilience when we're in social experiences or in community or hanging out with people or interacting with people, and we're feeling like attacked, or we're feeling less than, or we're feeling insecure. Having love in our hearts can really counter that imposter syndrome or that sense of comparison or envy or feeling like you're missing out or left out, okay? Or abandonment. So having love in our life is going to be really important. Having love in our heart as well this week is really important. So lean into your loving connections in your life. People may try to cross you this week in social experiences. They may try to trigger you, or they may disagree with you, or they may, antagonize you or irritate you a bit this week. Know that it's okay if that happens, and use love to counter it, okay? Be emotionally and socially resilient. Don't take things too personal this week. Be the master of the love vibration. If somebody is trying to even attack you, or to the point where they're deliberately saying mean things to you, look at it from a loving perspective. Ask yourself, what kind of love are they missing that's making them, act this way? What kind of love are they not letting themselves receive, and why may they not be letting themselves receive that? And maybe that's why they're acting this way, right? So this is the kind of energy that we want to present when we're moving through this week, because people will most likely try to cross us this week. I'm getting a lot of those warnings from Spirit for us this week. So just look at it with love, and that's a test of us mastering that love vibration, staying in the love vibration, not just for them, because we want to exude love everywhere we go, even if people can't receive or give it back to us, but also for ourselves, so that we can stay in the loving vibration as to be emotionally and socially resilient, to help us transform and move through those changes, okay? Thank you so much for the super chat donations, Jasmine and Marie. So grateful for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. For all of you, if you don't know super chat, definitely check in on your YouTube profile and add your super chat account and sign up for it, so that you can also make donations on these readings and also on the Bone Shaman readings, because the Bone Shaman readings on every first Friday, which we're having another one on December 4th. Every single time we do that, I offer personal mini readings for all of you with a super chat donation. So you can throw up a little super chat donation, and I'll give you a personal reading from the Bone Shaman bone casting set. So really, really exciting. All right, so emotional and social resilience. Okay, I'm getting Voyager cards with this. All right. Rejoicer. Be in that place of rejoice. Being able to celebrate the fact that you can use love to transmute negative energy. The fact that you can use love to be resilient and to bounce back from things that don't feel good. Celebrate that. Rejoice in that. That is magic. I had a download yesterday where I was just feeling into the fact that we know magic. Like, how cool is it that we know magic? Like, we literally know magic. Like, this is magic. Like, the ability to know that love, that bringing yourself into a state of love when you're in an interaction where you're feeling attacked, can literally shift your vibration so much that you no longer feel attacked. That's magical. That's magic. Literal magic. Like, we know magic. How cool is that? Like, rejoice in the fact that you know magic. And that's going to really help you to be confident in those interactions, and to not take it personally, and to not feel attacked, and to not feel defeated, but instead feel empowered because you know magic. Okay? Master the love of knowing magic. If there's not any other love that you are inspired to master this week. And don't get stuck in your own web, okay? Don't let yourself get wound up in drama, wound up in your own thoughts of negativity, wound up in lack mentality, wound up in insecurity, or a unhealthy eagerness to fill a void that you could easily fill with just self-love, right? So just don't get stuck in your own web. That was another big message coming through as well. Rejoice in the opportunity to see the web that you're weaving, and to not get stuck in it, but instead to make sure that you don't take a step into a sticky spot that could make you really, really confused and conflicted. Instead, have that awareness to be able to look and say, okay, this is how I keep things tidy, clean, and aligned for my highest good, right? Yes, you can do anything your heart desires. Love it, Linda. So true. All right, next message is our crown chakra. Our crown chakras are opening and expanding this week. You're going to notice maybe some tingling or some pressure or some tickling on your crown chakra, or even a sense of expansion in your crown or in your mind as you meditate, or even just as you're experiencing life, or even, you know, talking, having conversations that are inspiring or intuitive. And let yourself have that. Let yourself keep your mind open. This is also going to help you with that energy of in between worlds and receiving new information and leaning into that. This is going to help master more of our connection to source and our intuition, our channeling ability. Shout out to all of those of you who have stepped into the Intuitive Luminary course and coaching program with me, and to my recent graduates and my new attendees, my new mentees. And I think I'm going to be opening up the course and coaching program again pretty soon for those of you who may still be interested. If you are, let me know. readingsbyrissa@gmail.com if you're interested in tapping into your intuition and expanding your crown chakra and all your chakras, and just walking your enlightenment path with a mentor, with one-on-one coaching by me. Let me know, because right now we're in a time where our intuition is super pivotal, and it is heightened and sensitive and sometimes overwhelming for some of you, and even sometimes confusing when we don't know what's going on and why. So if you're experiencing that, you may experience more of that this week, because there's a lot of heightened psychic energy happening for us, especially with that solar flare since Friday. And we're going to feel a lot more of our intuition wanting to get our attention to help us navigate our life so that we can really have the best life possible for us. And we can fulfill the soul missions that we have set forth in our lives, that we agreed to fulfill before we came here. So if you're interested, email me, readingsbyrissa@gmail.com, but also just know that this week we are tapping into more crown chakra energy. We're going to feel it. It's important to breathe through it, journal through it, acknowledge it and not ignore it, trust it, because it is there for a reason. It is there to give you information you need, okay? So honor that, honor that. Yeah, so powerful with the crown chakra. Let's see, I'm getting like no cards on that, so I don't think they need me to pull a card on that. I think that one's pretty self-explanatory. Let's see. Spirit is so good. It's already had me say the last couple of messages, really, in just the last 10 minutes or so. But just to go over again, exhaustion, body sensitivities, mental overwhelm or anxiety, stress. These are kind of signs of our body sensitivities to that solar flare energy, and also just to our transformation and to our intuition waking up, to our ability to sense energy more and be sensitive to it. So if you're feeling any of that, feeling extra tired lately, feeling more body sensitive to your diet or to physical connection, or even certain things, maybe you're used to drinking coffee every day and then all of a sudden you're like, ugh, I can't drink it, or I'm super sensitive to it. Or maybe you're used to doing the run every morning and now your like body's like, no, this doesn't feel right, it's not aligned anymore. Notice that and trust it, because we are transforming, and there's different activities, different dietary restrictions, different even interactions that we're meant to step into that are going to help us through this transformation. So we don't want to get too rigid in our routines as to not listen to our intuition. We can still stay disciplined when we move into a new routine, but we want to make sure that we don't stay so disciplined to one routine or one environment or one diet and ignore when our body is telling us, or our mind or our heart is telling us it's time to switch it up, okay? I'm also getting like there's an unstable masculine and feminine energy. Men and women are having a hard time trusting each other this week, and also the masculine energies and the feminine energies within ourselves are having a little bit of a hard time understanding each other, understanding each other. So we may see some overcompensation of masculine energy. We may see some overcompensation of feminine energy depending on the dynamic or the relationship or the connection. We may see some butting heads in romance or masculine and feminine relationships or relationships with men and women or in the men and women collective this week. And it's really based on a lack of trust, and it's for these kind of headbutts or these kind of conflicts are going to be happening so that we can find ways to trust each other again, so that we can really have the uncomfortable conversations we need to be vulnerable and to really get down to the brass tacks of what's going on and why, instead of having this feeling of confusion or conflict when it doesn't need to be. Okay. Yes, Jasmine, love that you're noticing it too. She said, what the hell? Yes. So that masculine and feminine energy really needing to come to a harmony, to an agreement, and they're finding their way through that by facing the uncomfortability of the duality. Okay, so let that take its course. Have those tough conversations in your relationships or in your relationships with the opposite sex, and also reflect on how your relationship with your own masculine and feminine energy is showing up, and if there's any one overcompensating for the other, and find balance. Okay. I'm getting Mary Magdalene with these, and then we'll get into astrology in just a second, y'all. How's everybody feeling? Good? So good. Oh, little children. This is how we find the balance, is by tapping into our inner child energy. What is the balance between the masculine and feminine? It's what the masculine and feminine create. It's the inner child. The masculine and feminine going in 50-50 on that inner child energy. And so that's how we really find balance between any quarrels between the masculine and feminine, is we find a way to get connected to our inner child. And what do we do to do that? We play, we adventure, we get curious, we start to focus and prioritize fun and pleasure and bliss, okay? We start to take things less seriously, and we start to have more fun with it, right? We look at it from a more lighthearted perspective, and from a more vulnerable and genuinely pure and innocent perspective as well. That's how we have those tough conversations, or how we break up the tension between the masculine and the feminine, okay? And how we find ways to trust each other again is by playing with it, taking the seriousness out of it, remembering it's okay to just have fun. It's okay to observe and laugh. It's okay to observe and, get curious. It's okay to observe and say, hey, I don't know if this is the right way, but we're going to find out by trying it, okay? And we can always try again, or we can always change our mind later. But this is how we do it. We take the seriousness out. We take the heaviness out. We take the tension out, okay? Yes! Home Alone and Elf. I love it. Time to watch that. I love that. Definitely watch some fun, jolly movies, some inner child vibes. That's definitely a really great way to activate the inner child as well. I just had a park day with my girls yesterday. I love to go out in nature and just play with cards and crystals and have girl talk and eat snacks and stare at the sky and the clouds and bring the little kids around too. So that's kind of my playtime. Just finding that and letting yourself have that this week is going to be really helpful for any masculine or feminine tension that we see, or lack of trust between the two. The next message is being tricked by source. Okay, how many of y'all have been tricked by source? Let me get a raise of hands. Let me get 100%. Let me get a whoop whoop if you feel like you've been tricked by source before. It happens. It happens. And some of you can feel really mad and angry at source when you feel tricked by it, because it happens. Like, Source will put us in a position where we think this is like the best thing for us, or like we think it's going one way and it's like, this feels so aligned. Spirit sent me down this path and I just know it's going to be this, this, and that, and it's going to be amazing. And then we start walking on the path and we're like, okay, it's like amazing, but it's also like kind of crazy. And then we keep walking and we're like, oh my gosh, this is kind of nuts. And then we keep walking and we're like, crap, this is like not what we signed up for. This is not what we expected. Like, what the F, Source? You tricked us, right? It happens. Source tricks us a lot, actually, and it can feel frustrating, it can feel defeatist, it can feel just annoying, but don't curse Source when you get tricked by Source, because if you look at it in hindsight, there's a reason for it. And if Source would have told you how it was going to go right in the beginning or before it happened, you probably wouldn't have walked down that path. And if you hadn't have walked down that path, you probably wouldn't have learned or experienced or overcome or became more resilient or strong as a result of that path, right? And so you needed that path, and Source knows you needed that path. And so it had to kind of trick you to get you to walk down it. But now you're off of it, and you can see in hindsight why it was there and what you needed to gain from it. And now you can walk a path from that wisdom that's even more aligned to you. And so if you've been feeling tricked by Source lately, that's the message for you this week, to integrate so that you feel less angry or frustrated by that and more accepting and receptive to that wisdom, and just the fact that that's just how it had to be in order to get you to move through some things you needed to move through, okay? And for those of you who may be getting tricked by Source right now, and we'll find out throughout this week, oh crap, I just got tricked by Source. Don't get mad. You're not duped. It's okay. It's all right. Just keep moving through it and breathe through it and know that it's all for a reason, okay? The hard lessons we can't know until after, you know, these are the hard lessons that we have to see in hindsight. So be okay with that, accept that. Don't get too frustrated, and know that if you've experienced it once, you're probably going to experience it a few more times. So now you're going to be even better at knowing what it is and why, and it won't feel so frustrating next time, okay? Intuitive nudges, all right? Intuitive nudges. This is what we are experiencing when we're being tricked by Source. We're getting intuitive nudges to go down a path that we may not have expected to have to go down, or we may not have wanted to go down. But our intuitive nudges make us go down that because it knows we needed to go down that path, right? So even if our intuition sends us down a path that we're like, why are we going down this path? Or what the F is this for? Trust it. Trust it, because in hindsight, you will understand. And Jasmine, you're right. We are being tested to trust that intuitive nudge anyway, even if it leads us down a path or through a path that doesn't feel as aligned as what we thought it was going to feel like, right? Those wishful expectations energy of November really taking a close these last couple of days, letting us know, yeah, we had these wishful expectations for that path that we were being intuitively nudged towards. But those wishful expectations also had a lot of our own illusion, our own ego in it. And we decided it was going to look a very specific way. We expected it to look a very specific way. But Source never said it was going to look that way. Source just told us to go down the path, right? And we decided it was going to look all these certain ways, okay? So recognizing how sometimes our ego gets mixed in with our intuition, and then we kind of end up putting ourselves in a weird position of disappointment and frustration when we really don't need to be there. We can just honor the openness of the unknown and trust that the intuitive nudges we get are leading us on the paths that we need. Not always the ones we want, but always the ones we need, okay? Look at all these hands. Yes, we've all been duped by Source. Okay, we are not alone. It's all right. Can I get an amen? It's all good. All right, so the last little message before we get into astrology is it's time for us to slow down and rest a little bit. We're starting to enter the last month of the year, which means, yes, of course, we still need to stay on track to finish out what we said we wanted to complete for this year, but we also want to honor the fact that this is the slowing down season. We're starting to get ready to hibernate and kind of go inward and be more of that hermit so that we can honor what we've harvested this year, take it all in, enjoy it, hold it close to us, get nice and cozy with it. it, and then let that help produce inspiration for what we want to gather for next year, right? To set intentions for next year. So it's okay to slow down, it's okay to rest. Start to focus on your recharge a bit, your rejuvenation. We just had harvest season and we're finishing that out as well. So really just honoring what you've accomplished, giving yourself those pats on the back and those big hugs for the wins you've gained, and, for the losses you've had that are really great for you to let go of things so you can be lighter and more free to move forward. So honor that, okay? Honor that and know that it's okay to slow down a little bit. It's okay to slow down a little bit. But stay on track, okay? Stay on track. Oh yeah, Linda, definitely take me up on the coaching if you're interested, if anybody's interested in the coaching. And also for all of you men out there, hello, I coach men. I've coached quite a few men. They're not always like the most expressive on the reviews because they don't always like to be videotaped and stuff. But I have coached men, and I want to coach more men because I feel like a lot of men are ready for coaching if their intuition and are already incredibly intuitive, but are maybe just a little bit nervous about the path and what that looks like and what to expect, or just not sure if they are really able to tap into their intuition or if it's really valuable. I don't know. Men, let me know. Let me know why you are maybe a little resistant to coaching. And if you are, or if you want some questions answered, reach out to me. I'm happy to answer some questions. And also, I'm happy to offer coaching to all of you men out there because I really would love to be able to provide that safe space for all of you as well in mentorship on your enlightenment path. Because I know a lot of these women out here that I've coached, they're just like, where are our conscious men at? Why aren't they doing the work to step into their intuition and power? We need them to, we want them to, we are eager for them to. And I know a lot of you men out there are ready and are wanting to as well, but just maybe are a little reluctant in taking those steps. So if you're one of those men, please reach out, readingsbyrissa@gmail.com. Let's get on the phone. Let's talk about the coaching program. Let's see how you feel about it, and let me help clear any questions that you may have. And for all of you ladies out there that may have men in your lives that would be interested in coaching, but maybe just need, this safe space to talk about it, send them my way as well, okay? All right, let's see what we have for this. Ooh, the hawk, the messenger. So as we wind down, as we slow down, as we rest and recharge for the last month of the year, as we enter it this week of December, and that energy of love from the annual card reading I did, the card for this week is the messenger, the hawk. To really sit back and listen and watch to receive the messages of love that we're meant to receive, the messages that we're meant to receive about our life this year, about our accomplishments this year, about our success this year, and what we want to move into next year. So that's part of our resetting and rejuvenating ourselves, is to go within and to focus on observing the messages that are flowing through us, within us, and are showing up outside of us, that are giving us that necessary wisdom and reflection from this year that we need. It says, Spirit is sending you messages. Open your greater vision to see the signs, okay? See the signs, see the synchronicities. Nothing is by coincidence, okay? If you're watching this reading for the first time and I'm talking about men getting coaching and you're a man that's been looking for a coach to help you through your enlightenment path, that's a sign, okay? Or if you're a woman listening to it and you're like, I knew I needed to sign my husband up or my friend up for something, like, this is a sign, okay? And any of the messages you receive that resonate, this is a sign, okay? Open your greater vision to see the signs. Focus on priorities and eliminate distractions, okay? You have a bright future. Let yourself ascend to new insights. So no more distractions, no more limitations. Expand your mind, expand your consciousness, that consciousness rising showing up, right? That crown chakra expanding. All of the messages we had today, so in alignment with this as well. Be the hawk, observe and receive the messages, okay? All right, y'all, did I tell you about my New Year's Eve event that's happening, Sonic Soul Spark, on December 31st? It's almost less than a month away. I cannot believe it. I've been doing like 4 to 5 rehearsals a week preparing for it. Tons of just time in the studio, tons of investment, money, time, energy, just to get this performance all the way right. I'm going to be headlining the show with a big set of my music from last album, Spirit Junkie, and from this most recent album, Hippie Vixen. I'm also going to be joined on stage by DJ MJ for a really powerful DJ set. We're going to do an ecstatic dance after midnight, after we meditate into the new year for a couple of minutes. It's going to be so powerful. And then we're also going to have a beautiful ceremony in the beginning of the event hosted by my dear sis Melanie Peralta and Monique Angelica, and they are going to be presenting the moving mantra sound journey, sound bath. It's going to be epic. We're going to have a cacao ceremony to open our hearts and get us in our bodies before that, hosted by a beautiful sacred song by Rhiannon. And then we're also going to have some spoken word leading up to my set by my dear sis Candy Wheeler. We're going to have our hosts Mackenzie and Michael Marslove in there as well, and it's just going to be Mackenzie Marslove and Michael Pearson, and they're going to be hosting, and it's just going to be a powerful event all around. So definitely, if you're from out of town, come to Arizona and vibe with us for our 2022 New Year's celebration on New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2021 at the Mon Orchid, downtown Phoenix. There's not going to be any crazy COVID restrictions or mandates there. You'll just have to sign a little waiver, taking responsibility for your own sovereignty, as we all should. And that's it. You'll be able to enter the event and have a great conscious New Year's celebration. So if you're interested in that, the tickets are on sale right now, and they will fill up fast because we're only allowing 100 to 200 people there, and really only 100 people for the first part because it is ceremony. It's going to be more intimate. We're going to be on yoga mats and things like that. So definitely get your tickets ordered, get your flights booked. If you're in Arizona, get your tickets right away before they sell out. It's going to be amazing. So get them in the description of this video. And let's go ahead and dive right into astrology to end everything out. How's everybody feeling? Ooh, I love the hawk as one of your totem animals, Danielle. That's beautiful. So good. All right, so the astrology. Today we've got the Sun in Sag conjunct Mercury in Sagittarius. This is a great day for adventure or studying, or even taking an adventure by watching a movie or reading a book. We talked a little bit about that last week, but just wanted to remind you all to have a little adventure today. Really good for the inner child energy. Then tomorrow we have Mars in Scorpio trine Neptune in Pisces. And that's going to give us a little bit of a seductive energy with that Mars in Scorpio, kind of making us act on that mystery and seductive energy of the Scorpio. Also going to feel very intuitive on Monday, tomorrow, with that Neptune in Pisces, and feeling very telepathic as well. So really good energy for readings and connection intuitively tomorrow. Then on the 30th, we have a lot of transits. We have Mercury in Sagittarius and the Sun in Sagittarius, both sextiling Saturn in Aquarius. Mercury in Sagittarius is going to bring us the teaching and study energy as it sextiles Saturn in Aquarius. And then the Sun in Sagittarius is going to bring us some unique talents and even more of our mastery in a great pair with that, in that Saturn in Aquarius, sextile Saturn in Aquarius as well. Then we're going to have Venus in Capricorn sextile Neptune in Pisces as well on the 30th. That's going to give us some romance, some seduction, some commitment energy. It's going to help us actually have those conversations, those masculine and feminine conversations to find harmony. We're actually going to feel that harmony, that synergy happening in a lot of different ways within ourselves and within others, and our relationships with the opposite sex as well. Then on the 1st of December, when we actually make that true transition from the wishful expectations card of November from the annual card reading, in the beginning of the year, moving into the December card from the annual reading, which is love, okay? So on 12/1, we're going to see that transition within our lives, and we're also going to see Neptune going direct in Pisces. That's going to actually give us a kind of a daydreamy energy. We're going to feel a little bit similar to today, where things are a little bit airy and floaty and foggy and weird and dreamy. Even a little bit of an emotional fog with that Neptune going direct from being in retrograde. So just breathe through that and really make sure you pay attention to what is reality and what may not be reality, okay? Then finally, on the 4th, we are going to have our beautiful new moon in Sagittarius. Shout out to all my Sagittarii out there. Happy solar returns to all of you. So that's going to be a really great energy. We're actually encouraged to not start a lot of new projects on this new moon. It is the end of the year, so we are supposed to be more reflective. We're meant to be a little bit more introverted and connected to our own understanding of things as a result of the wisdom we gained over the year. And we're meant to connect with people that we really feel aligned to and heart close to. Community, dear friends, even people in need. We're meant to really connect to that, recharge, relax, and interact in that way. So that'll be on the 4th, and I will be doing a live moon talk on Instagram on the 4th. So lots of readings on the 4th, which will be Friday. We've got the Bone Shaman live reading. I think I'll be doing that around 7 p.m. Central Time. We'll do the new moon live talk probably right after that as well. So probably around 6 p.m. 8 p.m. Central Time. And then, I think that's it. Lots of readings. It's really just 2, but it feels like a lot. So new moon in Sag. So get ready for that. And I will be posting on my Instagram with times for when that will be. But you can also just expect that the Bone Shaman live reading right here on YouTube on Friday will be at 7 p.m. Central Time, which is 7 p.m. Or I think it's 7 p.m. I think we're going to do 7 p.m. Central Time. Let's do 6 p.m. Central Time, you guys. Let's do 6 p.m. Central Time, because that'll be 5 p.m. Mountain Standard and 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And then we can do the moon talk right after that, okay? So 6 p.m. Central Time for the Bone Shaman reading, okay? 6 p.m. Central Time. All right, I love you all so much. If anything changes, I will let you know in the communities tab of this YouTube channel, and also in the Instagram Readings by Rissa on my story, on my post. So make sure to stay attentive to all of that as well for any last minute updates on anything. But yes, that's all I have for you. Let's pull a few cards. Whoa. Let's pull a few cards to sum everything up. A quick reading recap of this week's energy. How are all of you feeling? Are you ready for this week? Are you ready to master love? Are you ready to look through the week with the eyes of love and mastery of your skill, your intellect, your open mind, your open crown chakra, all of that? Let me know if you are. Let's see what we have. Ocean Whispers deck coming in with a card for us. Let me move these up. Also, y'all, my website is officially launched. I launched my website and my brand new product line. It is on my website. RissaVibes.com is officially launched, y'all, with the cards that I designed, my own very oracle deck. I'm so excited, and my aura spray is up there for purchase. I've got 2 different sizes. The velvet bags that the oracle deck comes in are also available for purchase. These are great stocking stuffer gifts. These are great Christmas gifts or holiday gifts if you want to get the cards for someone or the whole collection for someone. such a good buy if you know somebody that's wanting to tap into their intuition or know how to read cards or know how to tap in more spiritually with themselves. This is a great gift for the holidays. And I still have the sale going on until tomorrow evening at 11 p.m. So check out the sale. Everything is on sale. I also have Hippie Vixen merchandise on there as well in the Vibe Shop. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the Vibe Shop tab, you'll see Hippie Vixen merch, which is really exciting. So I've got some crew neck sweatshirts, I've got some tank tops, I've got some long sleeves, I've got some hoodies. So go check that out as well. Just tap into the vibe. Tap into the gear so you can wear your vibe wherever you go, or you can gift it to someone else, okay? Super, super fun. Yeah, shout out Marie. Marie was actually the first one to order on the website. Shout out Marie. Thank you, Marie, for the love, for the support. All right, let's see what our cards are for the week as we move forward. Oh my gosh, no way, you guys. Beginning of the week, Unexplained Wonder. This was actually the card that we pulled last week, one of the cards for the weekend. So this is saying that last week, moving into this weekend, we're moving into even more Unexplained Wonder. We're going to continue this card throughout this week. Last week was just a little bit of a prep or a premonition into more of this card this week. So we're going to feel some unexplained wonder, some mystery, some excitement, some adventure. We're going to land on new ideas, new information, new knowledge that we didn't expect, that we might not even be able to explain, but that we're in awe of and we're inspired by. So this is going to be a beautiful energy for our transformation as we step into the new parts of ourselves, the new essence of ourselves, right? It says magical blessings and miracles are occurring in your life. All your prayers are answered now. And this is the number 44 card. How beautiful is that? And the first card we pulled today was the number 22 card. And so such a beautiful synchronicity there. So really all of our prayers being answered now. And then look, in the middle of the week, we have the blessings card just to add to that vibe. How beautiful. Blessings showing up in the middle of the week. We are reaping what we've sown. We are receiving the harvest. We're able to rest and just enjoy in all that we've accomplished. And then at the end of the week, Sovereign Dragons. Sovereign Dragons, the card says, you are the sovereign of your life, the true ruler of your realm. Reconnect with your power and use its sacred golden energy, that solar plexus, with confidence, care, and great respect, okay? So stand firm in your confidence, in that mastery of love, that mastery of self, that mastery of awareness, in knowing that you may not know everything you need to know, or you may not know everything you thought you knew, but being a master of being open to receiving information, being open to love, being able to use love and exude love for the purpose of staying open. That's the mastery, that's the skill, and that's the key to blessings, abundance, and prosperity this week, okay? I love all of you so much. Totally, the cards are so powerful. So good to see all of you. Thank you for joining as you always do. Keep watching the shadow work video. I love seeing the views continue to climb with that. Make sure to get your tickets for the Sonic Soul Spark New Year's Eve conscious event that I'll be headlining with my music. And also make sure to check out RissaVibes.com for a sale on all readings as well, by the way. All of my readings are on sale right now. All of my workshops on the website are on sale. All of my masterclass replays are on sale on the website, and all of my products are on sale on the website. Okay, so go check out that Black Friday sale and enjoy it. It's open until tomorrow evening, and just go give my website some love because it just launched and I'm so proud of it. I did a lot of it myself and with some team members as well. Shout out to Derek for helping me put the bones of the website together. But yeah, thank you so much everyone for joining me here. I will see you again next week at 1:11 p.m. Central Time for a brand new weekly reading. I'll catch you then. Peace. Love you.